Are they creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky? If Sharon were here, she would have sung that. You know that,
I know.
But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I didn't do that for you. You know, we're not talking about Paul Milliken.
I knew it. I called that.
We're talking about the Addams Family.
I knew you were going to say it. I told Paul you were going to say that.
Am I getting predictable?
That was great. Okay, so the Creepy Clan is back in a new animated film featuring an all-star cast of voices that included Oscar winner Charlize Theron, Bette Midler, and Snoop Dogg.
And Mr. Creepy and Kooky himself, Paul Milliken, joins us now. Paul, you got a chance to catch up with actor Oscar Isaac, otherwise known as Gomez Addams.
Yes, indeed. Pugsley with Paul. That can be my new segment. I think that character was based on me. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Oscar Isaac is one of the busiest guys in Hollywood these days with roles in the most recent Star Wars trilogy and Dune, which had a great opening this past weekend. But the actor says returning to the role of Gomez Addams is like being reunited with an old friend. And of course, he hopes audiences feel the same way.
Oscar Isaac, the busiest man in Hollywood. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing really well.
Oscar Isaac is good, spooky, and ooky, returning to the role of Gomez Addams in the Addams Family 2.
Wait a minute.
What?
I've got a dish.
You're part of a lot of cinematic worlds, right? So like Star Wars, Dune coming up, X-Men. Where does Addams Family rank in all that?
Well, it's just I feel like that is just pure fun, getting to go in there into the sound booth and record Gomez Addams. I just had a blast doing it.
Come on, kids! Up and Addams!
One, he has this like infectious joy and positivity. So there's like a real, strong energy. And then it's his delicious accent. Those two things, I feel like once I key into those, the rest becomes a lot easier.
So speaking of going into the recording booth, I read that you did this during the pandemic. So what was the process like? Were you completely alone in there?
Yeah, although I gotta say, even on the first film, I was completely alone, more from a scheduling standpoint. So yeah, it's in a way, it was the perfect job to do during these times when all I needed to do was go into an isolated booth and record this voice.
When you watch the movie and you've got such great interaction, it seems to me impossible to do what you did. So how do you create chemistry with someone that's not there?
Well, a lot of it's just we've got these great directors that help us understand what's going on in the world, and then oftentimes we'll have some visual playback of what the animators are working on. Yeah. And as the process continues, you do get to hear the other actors and what they've recorded already, and so playing off of that.
We are going on a road trip.
This is cruel, even for you.
You get to work with, or your voices with, so many amazing people. I mean, Charlize Theron and Bette Midler and Snoop Dogg. If you could be in the studio with just one of them, who would you want to play off of in the studio?
Well, because he's a good buddy of mine, Nick Kroll, who's Uncle Fester.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
And he's just such a funny, sweet, wonderful guy and a buddy of mine. So, and he's also a pro at this, with Big Mouth and, all the shows that he does. I wish we could have gotten into the room together.
Good to see you, my bewhiskered cousin.
Well, you've done parts 1 and 2 of Addams Family. Because I know you love us here in Atlanta, can you give us like a little spoiler? I mean, will there be a part 3? Do we know yet?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at the moment. I hope so, though. I love this family.
I love the family too. I hope there is a third one. Thanks to United Artists Releasing with production assistance with that interview. The Addams Family 2 is in theaters now. It's also available on demand. I've seen the movie. Super cute, perfect Halloween viewing. And Oscar Isaac is everywhere right now. He's also on that show Scenes from a Marriage that people are obsessed with. And he's in Dune, which had a big opening weekend this past weekend. So that guy's just going up and up and up in his career.
So talented. Wow. And like you said, so cool how they do it all separately and then compile it together.
Well, it's similar to the Good Day Atlanta team. None of us speak in real life, but we're edited together to look like a family. But we're nowhere. We don't talk.
No, of course.
Paul, a.k.a. Cousin It.
There you go.
Gosh.
Sure.
Okay.
Just grow your hair out a little bit, Paul. I think you can pull that off.